from the Nurse Lounge, and today I'm actually vlogging. I'm headed to the hospital. You see I'm in uniform. I'm headed to the hospital to do a skills checkoff. It is a time for our annual skills checkoff, and I was going to just take you all along with me. I'm not working today in the sense of like being on the clock working, but we do get paid for this. So basically, what's going on is we have an annual checkoff, and it's basically, you know, starting IVs, catheters, questions about blood administration, things like that. You can see I'm driving in now, and basically, you know, that's what we're coming here to do, is just basically check off and to make sure that the skills that we have are up to par. We know how to do things. This is a great, even though I hate coming, I absolutely hate coming to do skills checkoffs, but I think it's imperative as a nurse that you remain cognizant and stay abreast on the latest on different ways of doing things. And when you have a skills checkoff, this is their way of making sure that they do teach us the latest when it comes to these certain skills, because as you know, things can change over the years. And so if you've been a nurse for any period of time, you may have done things one way, but of course, unless somebody has come showed you differently, like with a nurse educator, then you're not going to know, you know, if things have changed since you finished nursing school. So since you're not going to know, this is the way that we kind of find out. So that's what we're about to go do. After this, I plan on going to work out if possible. So we'll see how my day goes today. You see I'm at the hospital. I, again, don't work today, but I do work on Friday. So Friday, I'll be vlogging my work day that day, so you can see what happens that day. But anyway, we're about to go in, and I'm going to take you with me so you can see what I have to do to, I guess, check off for skills checkoff. All right, let's go. We're headed into the hospital now, so I will see you when I get to the floor of the skills checkoff.
Ask her what floor.
2.
So what is inside there?
The skills thing, I was told it was on.
Yeah, just go straight down the hallway, and about 3/4 of the way down, there's a doorway on your right.
They'll have a sign on it.
Okay.
It has a blue puzzle piece. You'll see it in the wall.
Okay, thank you.
You're almost there.
This is it, but nobody's in here. So let me go find somebody. So I'm here, but nobody's here. So I need to find out what I'm supposed to be checking off on. And evidently it's not a hospital-wide, so it must be just us. All right, so apparently the person's on break, but this is our abandoned floor. So it's a closed unit. You can see we've closed this floor. There's nothing here. This is what the nurse's station would look like. I'm gonna show you all empty rooms. This is one of our rooms, what they look like while I'm waiting to do my check off, since the person's gone. Our whiteboard. This is what our rooms look like pretty much. It's empty. I don't know why this floor closed, but it's closed. So We're gonna head back down here and wait. You can see this is where like overflow stuff is, I guess. Repaired beds, it says. So that's when we need a bed. That's where it is. But anyway, let me get back to where I'm supposed to be, which is in this room. So I'm going to sign in right here to say that I came and we'll just sit and wait. So I guess this is check off for sure, but here is our mannequin. I'm interested to see what I'll be doing with him today. Our blood. We'll see. I may not be able to vlog while I'm actually doing my check off, but I'll have to let you know how it went after the fact. So we shall see. We'll see what happens when I check off, and I'll have to let you know. I'll see you soon.
Of course, at this rate, I can see it taking an hour and a half. I hear voices.
All right, so at this point, we realized that we had been sitting in the wrong room for about 30 minutes. Where we were is for night shift, but they did not say that in the email. They said to come to that room to do the checkoff. So the actual checkoff is in the ER education room, which we have no idea where that is. So we are headed that direction to the ER, trying to find the education room, and I'll see you when we get there. All right, so I just finished my checkoff. Basically, it was a new IV that we're getting, and they're gonna start it tomorrow. All right, so now it is time to do the next leg of this checkoff today. All right, so I just finished checkoffs, and basically what it was our how to start an IV with the new IV system, and then we had to go through our floor checkoffs. So we learned about the new formulas from the Infamil rep. We learned about security, talked about code pinks and infant abduction, and did I know what my role was in that, and then. So we're in the cafeteria at this point. I wanted to see what food options they had available. Got the chips in the way. I just picked up some chips, but I wanted to see what food options they had available. And I went to the hot food line, and by the looks of things, I'm not interested. I don't even know what that stuff even is. I looked at the menu, and it doesn't look like what it says it is on the menu, so I will pass on that and get me a drink and then leave. Had to do a checkout at this point, and I'm just waiting. I'll probably get something to eat on the way home.
$2. Don't touch yourself. You're good. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so let me tell you basically what happened. I'm back in the car now, but I basically I came in thinking it was going to be but when I ended up getting to that floor, I, as you saw, there was nobody there. And so I went and asked somebody and came back, and they were like, well, she's, on a break or whatever she's doing, so you can just wait for her. Well, somebody else comes to join me. I guess she thought I was the instructor for the class, for the IV thing. And so she was looking at me, I'm looking at her, because she was dressed in a way where I thought she was the instructor. And so then we sat there. So by then I had sat for another 10 minutes, so about a total of 30 minutes before she got up walking around and realized we were supposed to be in another room. So I was up there the whole time in the wrong place. We then had to go to the ER education room, which of course we didn't know where that was. So we had to find, how to get there. And so, and then we ended up going to the ED room, and we saw the representative. So basically we're getting a new IV. We're using new IVs now. So they wanted to show us how to use these compared to our old ones. So we had to get checked off on that. So I come back to the floor. This is where, this is the kicker, because I said, is this it? I came an hour and a half or hour and 15-minute drive just to learn how to do a new IV. And so I walked into the break room on my floor, and they're like, oh, are you here for the rest of the checkoff? I said, I thought I just finished the checkoff. They're like, no, you still have to do the OB part. And I'm like, oh. I said, it's good that I came, because the email did not give clear instructions about that. So I was coming to actually put my time in the time book for the skills fair to get, so I can get paid for today, because I didn't actually clock in. I just, signed my name. And so they were like, no, there's still more to do. So I had to do check off on PCA, which I got. We learned how to do PCA, so how to document PCAs and how to start them, which I know how to do. So I learned how to start IV, which I know how to start IVs, but the new IV system, how to do the PCA and how to document it. We are now going to do bedside shift report, which we already have been doing bedside report, but our bedside report was more so introducing the new nurse, not really a full-fledged, like, this is mom, she's a G3, P3. She's a G3, P3, her fundus is firm at U, small lochia, rubra. She has an episiotomy, second degree appease, or not appease, second degree laceration or something like that. We have to now do all that at bedside. So my concern with that was, so what about when our moms are asleep? Because I work day shift. So when I come in on this Friday, for example, and we do bedside report, we're going to be waking them up. And our patients do not like to be, most of them don't like to be woke up. So if they're already awake, I don't really mind that. But when they are sleeping, that's when I have, issue with it. So there's like, we're supposed to wake them up. I said, well, your patient satisfaction is going to suck at this point, because now you're wanting to wake people up to have a bedside report. And they want to emphasize how, all we have to do is when we first orient them to the room, that we'll explain this what we're going to do, so they kind of come to expect it. Doesn't mean they're going to like it, but I'm like, if that's what y'all want to do, that's what y'all want to do, it's fine with me. So I did that. We had to learn about hypertensive crisis and what to do about that, which being in postpartum, we have a lot of hypertensive patients, so that's nothing abnormal for me. We also had to, what else did we do today? Shoot, I don't have my checkoff sheet anymore, but we did, so IV, bedside report. Oh, so drug screens. I was on a Facebook forum, I want to say, and they were saying, I think it was a mom forum, and they were saying, oh, I've never gotten drug tested, and someone was saying that they were upset about being drug tested, even though she admitted to using marijuana in the past. I'm like, well, that's why she was drug tested, because she admitted to using drugs. But like I tell people, and for a lot of you all may not know this, but a lot of the time, most of you are probably drug tested and you don't even know it. When you have, and today proved it. So our pediatricians are requiring that all moms being drug tested when they get admitted to the hospital, which I thought we had did something like that anyway, because we have a high drug rate here. Tennessee actually ranks number 3 in terms of opioid usage, or overdose usage, whatever you want to call it. Or maybe usage. We rank number 3. So I can understand as to why we are drug testing our moms, because we have babies who end up with NAS, and so it's very important for us to know what's going on with our babies and our moms, obviously. But now they're requiring it, the pediatricians are requiring it, and the OBs are like, no, we don't want that on all our patients. So just in case you all didn't know, a lot of people are being drug tested, whether you know it or not. It's nothing that you're actually per se being told. You're probably being drug tested, including myself. I have probably been, when I had my babies, probably been drug tested. And I really don't care, because I don't have anything to hide, so for me, I don't care. And for me, it's about the outcome of my baby. So I really don't care about that. But, because we're in a mecca, if you will, of drug activity in terms of not just prescription, but obviously heroin and crack and stuff like that, street drugs. But we have a high rate of all those things. So we're drug testing our moms. DCS comes, and I've talked about this in other videos, how DCS comes and we have to go through all that whole rigmarole. Our social worker comes and stuff like that. So we talked about that today. Talked about breastfeeding today. We talked about the Infamil rep came, and she was showing us the new formulas that they have out and things like that for the moms or the babies. Actually, there's new nipples that's actually out now. So there is a high flow nipple, a regular flow nipple, a slow flow nipple, and a slow flow nipple. So the slow flow nipple, I didn't know anything about, so that's relatively new. So that's something she showed us today. So we have 4 nipples now that we give for our moms who want to bottle feed. And then service recovery, that was the other thing we talked about today. And service recovery is basically where you what is service recovery? Basically, that's where you an issue has come up with a patient. Maybe let's just say, for instance, a patient's food is cold. Okay, so service recovery basically means you want to try to rectify. You want to acknowledge what they have said. So you're just like, I understand. You're upset because your food is cold, and then you want to try to rectify the situation. So let me, reheat your food for you. And if that's not good enough for them, then of course we can call dietary and get them another tray sent up that is fresher. So service recovery basically means you're trying to acknowledge their issues or concerns, listen to them, restate what they've said, and then try to rectify the situation. Definitely apologize as well. So we apologize for the situation, which I do a pretty good job with service recovery. So if I'll tell people, I'll be back in 30 minutes, and so let's say it took me 45 minutes to come back, I'll say, I'm so sorry for, I told you 30 minutes, it took me a little longer. I had a situation that came up. Sometimes if you explain to patients what's going on and don't leave them in the loop, they're more understanding, especially our patients in OB. So we did that, and then I found out, which I'm bad about this, the patient educator said that if we do not have our advanced learning and health stream modules up to date, that we can get rolled up and fired for not having those done. And I will be the first person to admit, partially because I'm PRN, that I don't ever have those things done. I don't have them done on time or anything like that. All right, sorry y'all, my phone cut off because it got too hot, so I had to let it cool down some. But basically what I was saying was that I am very bad about not doing my advanced learning and health stream modules, and I'm just bad about it, just because, like I said, when I am here at work, I don't have time to do them. And at home, well, we have access at home, so I really don't have an excuse. I don't have a good excuse, I'm not gonna lie to you. No good excuse. But sorry for that glare you can see from the sun, but it's just more so the issue of me just hating doing them. I don't know, I just hate doing them. Anyway, I'm gonna have to get better with that, because if I don't, then I will be unemployed, per the educator. So I will get better about that. So basically, it was an insightful day. Again, today was just the skills fair, and I just wanted to kind of show you what that was about and just take you along for today on that. I am actually trying to go to the gym today if I have time. It's 12:36 right now in the afternoon. I've been here since 9:45 this morning. 30 minutes of that, though, was sitting in that room like I was telling you about. But Went to the cafeteria, got me some snacks because their food looked nasty. So you saw what our food be looking like. That's the reason why, I end up always eating from the grill, which is, not healthy food, because of the fact that the other food don't look like nothing. You have to ask, if you have to ask people what the food is, then you probably don't want it. If you have to ask them what something is, you don't even know what it is, then you don't want it. So anyway, hopefully this has been insightful for you. I just wanted to vlog today just to, kind of show you what happens on a day when I'm kind of working but kind of not working. So like when we have in-service, you're required to come in for that. So even though we're not scheduled to work today, if you are scheduled to work, you have to go to the in-service and still work and try to figure out somebody to cover your patients for you. But if not, then you have to come in and check off on all these things. And we do these checkoffs. It seems like to me, I thought we just did this checkoff, not even a year ago. So I don't know if we're doing them semi-annual now or what we're doing, but if it makes it better for the patients, for patient outcomes, then I guess that's what we have to do. So I'm not going to complain about that. I get paid for it. So, I'm here. So we will see. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. If you are new, subscribe. If you're not new but keep on watching and you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Again, my name is Marita. This is the Nurse Lounge, and I just wanted to show you what it's like to go to a skills fair, or at least some snippets. I didn't get to catch all of it because of the fact that I didn't have anybody to record for me because I actually had to do skills. So anyway, y'all take care. I'll see you the next time.
Let it loose, let it go.